Hey, welcome, folks, to the podcast known as Behind the Badge here at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office in Rochester, New York. My name is Todd Baxter. I'm the sheriff of the county of Monroe, an organization that has about 1,000 employees. Police is an area of about 750,000 people in Monroe County, and one of the most famous people of the 750,000 is Deputy Tisdale. How are you?
Doing good, sir. Having a good day being here, and especially coming in to, who we got on the show today. It's going to be something interesting, something like when talked offline that I never knew existed as well. And just it's going to be great to hear about this and other people out there as well.
Yeah, it's exciting because behind the badge, we talk about the people behind the badge, the cops, right? What really makes them tick as human beings, but also equipment, ways we do investigations,
right?
People that support us. We got a lot of civilians that come on. But before that, we do, as we normally do, we only got 2 more weeks left to talk about that NFL.
Super Bowl. Hey, give me your prediction before we go any further, sir.
I hate to say it. I'm going to predict it now. Kansas City's just not. How do you stop them?
That's what I'm going for.
That's
what I'm thinking.
I'm high-fiving for home. Now here comes the hate mail.
Right.
But you got to be honest about it.
Yeah.
You got to be honest about it.
They look good.
I wanted Detroit. The last 4 standing, Detroit would have been cool to see them in there. But 2 good quarterbacks going at it. But man, I don't know how you stop KC. Buffalo obviously couldn't. They ran over the Ravens.
Yeah. That was surprising to see, but like I said, it was a good thing just to see. Like you said, I wanted Detroit to get in it. Mm-hmm. Wanted Detroit to win it. Yep. Somebody who's never been there. Yeah. But looks like we got 2 old dogs who've been there before. So
yep, I'm gonna slug it out.
Yep.
But watching the game yesterday, it was Barry Sanders and Joe Montana doing a hug on the field. Like, that's pretty cool. Those 2 guys right there.
Yeah, I see that.
That was cool.
That was cool.
So we're here to talk about our snowmobile unit, our track unit vehicle. And we brought the subject matter expert, Lieutenant Matt Mackenzie, in to talk a little bit about these things. How you doing, LT?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Newly promoted, LT.
I am.
Yeah, congratulations. Well earned.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Part of your job function now is the Special Operations Group and Special Services Group, as we call it. A little bit about yourself and a little bit about that group. How about that, just to get you warmed up here?
Sure. Started my career in law enforcement back in 1999 in Fairfax County, Virginia. Spent about 4.5 years there. Really enjoyed my time there. Great department, really big. It was a suburb of D.C., so you got to see a little bit of everything. Right. Dealt with all kinds of people. But Webster, New York is where I grew up. My family was still here. So what I thought was maybe a short 6.5, 7-hour car ride, when your family needs you, it's a little bit long.
Right.
Had the opportunity to take the test one more time and had offers from both the Rochester Police Department and the Monroe County Sheriff's Office in 2004 and did ride-alongs with both. I really thought that the Sheriff's Office felt more like home. It was more, it was just closer to the job I was doing in Virginia, right. So I felt very comfortable. And I made the moved back in February of 2004. So yes, next month will be my 20-year anniversary.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Came in the same time.
Yeah.
In 04.
Yeah, so it's been I've had a great career here. Been able to do a lot of things. Spent the majority of my time with the Sheriff's Office out in C-Zone, even though I was a East Sider growing up in Webster. And I made that trek across town, very early in the morning just to get to work. But, really enjoyed working out in Chili and Parma and Hamlin, all the towns. So enjoyed my career out there. Eventually was selected for a class counselor role.
Great job, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah, one of the
very
best.
Rewarding.
Yeah. Molding the future.
Yes. So the first class we did, it was an all-county class with Deputy Tim Spry, who's retired from here. Second class was joint with RPD. A lot of fun then again. And now that's 8-10 years back.
Wow.
And now you see those people
Yeah.
advancing in their careers, so they're doing very well.
I've got recruits that are retired by a couple of years.
Wow.
I was a class counselor, yeah. Makes you feel old.
Yeah. But I've also been a part of the traffic unit. I really enjoyed my time there, the tactical unit, and worked basically every town in Monroe County.
That's great.
I think that's, one of the best things about the Sheriff's Office. You can you can spread your wings. You get sick of working out in C zone. You mix it up. You put it in for a transfer to B zone or A zone,
Right.
and you just get to restart.
A lot of variety, that's for sure.
Reset button.
Yeah.
But it's one thing we all know that things don't go smoothly as planned. And as long as you have the buy-in from the family backing you, 20 years, bro.
Yes.
That's a long time, man.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't come for free.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
doesn't come for free.
Exactly.
That's awesome. And then a couple more things, but you know, the bikes, the UTVs, the ATVs, the snowmobiles, these are some of the things I want to get into today with that special services group.
Sure.
You know, you've been over there for a couple of years. What is special services? It sounds like SEAL Team 6 coming through the door, right? Special services group.
Not so much.
Not so much, right? So, although the title might sound like that, what is special services in Monroe County Sheriff's Office?
Well, falling under that umbrella is the mounted unit,
Mm-hmm.
right? Our parks deputies that patrol just the county parks in Monroe County, and our marine unit. Those three units. Additionally, the bicycle unit, our ATV off-road unit, and the snowmobile unit. So, we have a lot of the toys
Right.
that people see us out there using, but they're a needed resource for us in Monroe County to do our jobs.
Yeah, professional law enforcement agencies should be able to get to where the police work needs to be done, whether it's in the middle of Lake Ontario,
Right.
4 or 5 miles out, or deep into the parks that might have hilly terrain and an ice storm or a snowstorm that came
Correct.
through. People need our service. We got to be there. And so that's one of the unique things about special ops is the specialized vehicle. It's pretty cool that you guys are always thinking the cutting edge, or see a problem and try and solve the problem proactively, like we're doing right now with these tracked vehicles. Obviously, we've seen the utter destruction that occurred in Buffalo last year with the blizzard, over 40 dead.
Sure.
Right? Law enforcement stranded, firefighters stranded, everybody was stranded. There was no one going anywhere. A lot of it could be, not overcome. I mean, there's just certain things Mother Nature does to us, but if we can, and that's the impetus behind these things we're watching now in the videos, these tracked vehicles. Tell me a little bit about these. We've had a snowmobile unit for years, but that wouldn't have been functional in Buffalo.
We have, and we've had both ATVs and UTVs, but they've all had their limitations.
Mm-hmm.
So the ATVs are regular four-wheelers, you're exposed to the elements, and they're a single occupant, for the most part, right? You're going out there by yourself, whether it's on a patrol or a search and rescue, but it has its limitations. You're not going to add a passenger to it. The UTV, we advanced from the four-wheeler to the UTVs, and now we can bring in another person with us, but that's just it, maybe one other person. And the same thing with the snowmobiles. So a snowmobile is great. They'll get there quick, but if you're extricating somebody out of a snowmobile crash or maybe a car that's stuck along the highway in a snowstorm, are they going to be prepared to be exposed to the elements? So, and then that's one at a time as well, where, this fills that void. These have 6 person seating capacity.
Wow, yeah.
Wow.
We're bringing them out of the cold potentially into a
You got to
heated
pause
cabin.
right there. They come with a mustache, or they don't come with a
That is
mustache?
optional.
That's optional.
That is
Mustache is optional on these?
yes.
Okay, continue on about the description of the 6-passenger vehicle.
That is Deputy Casey Burns, the assistant supervisor up in SSG that we're referring to as mustache, which is an option.
An option.
But yeah, so, one thing, we were on standby. We were ready to go to Buffalo last year a couple of times.
Right.
They just weren't ready to receive us. So, one of the things that was crossing my mind as we were prepared is if we go out there and we're going to take somebody out of a cold car, are we going to potentially put them in a worse situation by putting them on the back of a snowmobile and then have them exposed to elements? So this we don't have to worry about it because we're going to take them out of a potential cold car and put it into a heated cabin, and with potentially some other stuff, some warm drinks, some bottles of water, something to eat.
Could have an EMT sitting right there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right. So we can bring additional resources. They have beds, again, 6 seating capacity, able to go across all types of terrain.
I was going to
a
ask you
big
about
footprint. Right. So the tracks, we opted for the ones with the bogie wheels, so they can be ridden or driven on pavement. We don't have to worry about sliders of a suspension overheating. They go on mud and sand. They they just make our job easier. We'll be able to access people in all sorts of terrain.
Yeah, I was gonna wonder, like you said, with the effects of the snow, we haven't had it that bad as Buffalo.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, exactly.
But a unit like this, the importance of people knowing that's out there, like the sheriff said, you always want to know where your dollars go, or what happens with it or whatever. And things like this, they go out there to show much appreciation of what you guys do, in high, volatile situations like this, where you're sending these guys out. You guys just get calls, and like you said, I love the fact this thing can go in any terrain with any type of problem.
Yeah, I think the citizens of Monroe County should have peace of mind that the sheriff's office is prepared to respond in any type of emergency situation. This is just another resource that we can use to respond.
Yeah, mutual aid. As you said, we were on warning orders a couple times, and you were authorized by myself and everybody else, the chain of command, to deploy into Buffalo. They just weren't, like you said, ready to receive. But as a friendly neighbor,
Right.
we should have that capacity too, because we loan it out a lot. Sheriff's office loans a lot of SWAT teams, scuba teams, and the special ops with the vehicles is just another option for any jurisdiction around us. That if we can get there, we'll help you out.
For sure.
That's a beautiful part about our job.
How do you go about, and how do you get the community engaged in what you do with this? Nobody, because I didn't even know about it myself.
Sure. So these aren't only going to be used for search and rescue type missions. We're going to use them in regular patrol. So the County of Monroe, we have a network of trails, whether it's the Greenway, the Lehigh Valley, the Canal Path. We go out there and patrol those paths. So, and a lot of people, we're stopped a lot of times, and people are, first they're surprised to see us, and then once they know that they're out there, it brings them peace of mind.
Yeah.
That we're out there. If they might need something, we're prepared to respond, and also deal with some violations of the law while we're out there. But we go out there and we talk to the community. Try to bridge that gap. Look at the machine.
I know.
It's a conversation piece all by itself.
Yeah.
It's
almost like a horse where you're attracted to it. You
the
want to know more about it, right?
The motorcycles.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you get a gearhead like yourself.
Sure.
And I got it. What's in this thing? What's it run by?
We can talk about it. Yep.
Yeah. And they're not marked yet. So they're brand new. So the video is running with, but they're going to be fully marked, outfitted, just like our snowmobiles are. So everybody's going to know it's a law enforcement vehicle.
Yes, it will be. They have emergency lights. We're not finished up with that. They'll have an overhead light, the lettering as you talked about, and they already have a siren on there. So we're ready to go down the road if need be.
I see there's a winch on it, a power winch on the front. That's just all around use vehicle for us to get in and get out of situations.
Very capable.
Very capable. That's beautiful. And then so what is it? What type of vehicles is
So
it?
these are 2024 Can-Am Defenders, a 6-seater UTV, 1,000 cc.
Really? I didn't realize that was that powerful.
Yeah, and they go.
Really?
So right now you see them with the tracks on it.
Right.
They won't have tracks on them all year round. We'll switch off in the summertime and put some wheels and tires on one. I'm thinking, and we've talked to Fleet, we'll probably keep one tracked all year round, just because it offers some different abilities. But we'll probably switch off on and off, just try to keep the hours and stuff like that, the same between both units.
I can see a lot of muck in semi-swampy areas, and say even a UTV would have a harder time getting through.
For sure.
But give us another option to get into a swampy area in the middle of summer.
A bigger footprint,
Yeah.
You can get across those soft surfaces, sands, mud.
Do you offer any safety tips or any type of things out there for the novice out there, from the sheriffs?
As far as ATV and UTV?
ATVs and snowmobiles.
For sure. Well, you have to be on a regulated, you have to have permission to be there, right? Unfortunately, in Monroe County, there are not designated trails by the state to operate these machines. Snowmobiles, on the other hand, yes, there are.
Right.
So for the most part, in Monroe County, you're operating on private property. You should take a safety course. Make sure you read the owner's manual. Know what your responsibilities are. Wear appropriate safety gear. Always ride safe and sober. A lot of mistakes happen.
Yeah.
Snowmobiles.
We offer a safety course still with those.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. And a boater safety course. We were just at the boat show this past weekend offering, advertising that.
Yeah, one of the things that ironically, we're just talking about this. I don't know if it got to your level yet, but we're talking about, adding into the boater safety course other jurisdictions that are out there with us. Our brothers and sisters, we do constant work with the Coast Guard. People think that, but Border Patrol's out there sometimes. We use their helicopter for search and rescue.
For sure.
Out of Detroit, I think it comes from sometimes for us. If you ring the bell, it comes. So it's just letting them through that boater safety. What else is out there?
Even across the lake, the Canadians
that come over and help you.
Right, Air Force come across.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. So.
And I love the fact that, like you said, the Sheriff's Department, we got so many different tools, man. This is crazy when you think about it. Like you said, we talked a little bit offline about, the boats, now the snowmobiles and the track vehicles. I mean, this is crazy, and you're pretty much the head on this thing, man. It's a lot.
I am. A lot of fun when you get the opportunity to use them.
Yeah.
A lot of responsibility the other time, right?
Yeah. It's not a simple budget either. I mean, you got a budget for all these vehicles, but all the equipment that comes with them, right? All the spare parts, and it drives our fleet people a little nuts sometimes too. I got to learn how to work on what now, right?
Exactly.
Everything's patrol car. They're working on a Ford. That's probably a limited part of their job function now. And then you throw boats in there, and it's amazing.
Sure.
Yeah.
But how do you handle everything? Because, like I said, you got so many things coming in from different aspects.
Well,
bro.
fortunately, a lot of things are seasonal. So, we kind of forget about the boats in the wintertime. The snowmobiles we forget about during the summertime. So, it's not that tough, only because there's other people to help out as well. You have assistant supervisor. There's other people on these units. They're very capable of operating, and they know what needs to be done as far as maintenance and stuff like that. So we accomplish it as a team.
So special ops, they go a lot of unique places. They do a lot of unique police work, but more importantly, I think of police work, law enforcement. We are out there like snowmobile trails to make sure people are sober and have the proper insurance and registrations. But a lot, they're just coming to help. I mean, they're there for a service provider. It's high visibility patrol on the lakes, so people slow down and don't slam into the pier. But that's but also as soon as that flare goes off in the middle of the lake, and someone in the town of Greece on the lake border calls in, I seen a flare out 3 miles from my house, just over the horizon.
Right.
These are the guys that go,
Right.
and are chasing a 911 report, maybe an hour old sometimes, for a flare spotting. And now they got to go out there in rough waters to, see what that flare was all about. Was someone goofing around? Was it, a miscommunication, or was it truly a person in distress? And you got moments to get to them.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
That whole situation is, like I said, that's phenomenal. And then just finding out about this, I never knew. And just to watch that out there, brother, I think that's cool. I think I want to drive.
I think
one.
you want to ride. I see where you're going with that. It was
Can I
just
drive
set
one
up
to work?
all day long. Need one in the court bureau.
Yeah, right. I forgot to ask first.
It's coming tomorrow. It'll be right there. You see the judges driving around.
Yeah, right.
Got to be able to get the jury at a trial in a snowstorm.
Yeah, but I love it, brother. Like I said, this is a lot of things I'm pretty sure out there a lot of people in the community don't know about, and the added value, like he said, you always want to know what's going on in your department, especially when, like he said, people don't know what goes in a day to day of being a Monroe County Sheriff's deputy, and seeing the things that happen behind it, and especially all the things that this guy has to contend with every day on a known basis, like you said.
Oh, now they're on a wool meat story. Let me join in here.
Okay.
We'll be here an hour. How about the special ops are going all these unique places, boats, everything. If an area that we need to get to, we can get to now. That's how I look at it. Going back to our joke about seals earlier, sea, air, and land. We'll take a drone to you, or we'll take one of these unique vehicles, or we'll take a boat. Whatever we got, different levels of boats. So with that, search and rescue is a huge part of our world, right? Getting the people that are in distress, getting them out of areas, getting them to the proper medical treatment. So what's, of all your years of experience here, what's any one rescue stand out? And, you're working hand in hand with our scuba team sometimes, with the Marine unit, and, getting those guys where they need to be to do a dive. But, we've done some unique rescue, saving people.
Yeah, I think, although I wasn't involved, I believe it was 2012. We had a early snowstorm. I think maybe it was December, where it dropped. It wasn't a lot of snow. It was just in a short amount of time. I think there was like 14, 15 inches of snow. Ooh. Hit Rochester maybe in just a couple hours, and 490 came to a standstill.
Right.
our snowmobile unit went out there to check on motorists that got stuck right on 490, right in front of the sheriff's office.
Yeah, right.
So, now you look at what could we have done different? We could have put these 2 UTVs out there,
Right.
and we could have, had people jump in and taken them off the road ourselves instead of wait for the snowplows to. I mean, they weren't out there very long, but it's this resource, this tool is just the community's going to benefit from it. Hopefully they won't need it, but we have it if they do.
Yeah, it's a lot of death we're seeing, and not just in Western New York, but other places. Getting stuck on an expressway during a snowstorm is a real probability, especially with our lake effect snows that we
Sure.
get, right? And you could be driving down, and as we all know, blue sky, and then all of a sudden you're in a squall that you can't see 2 feet in front of you, and now you're stuck. And if you're on a controlled access highway,
Yeah.
you'd be stuck for hours,
For
if
sure.
not days. And there's only so much fuel, there's only so much water you might have on board here, only so many blankets if you've done the right proactive stuff and put a lot of stuff in your trunk. But someone's got to come to you sooner or later, or else you could obviously perish in that vehicle. And so again, just having you guys well trained, well equipped is important to me as a sheriff to make sure we're providing that resource not only for our own community but for other communities. So as you're getting ready to leave special ops, right? Sooner or later you're going to be leaving, and that's unfortunate for us. We're losing all the experience. But what would be the dream for the future of special ops? What are we missing? If you had an unlimited checkbook? We don't. What would be what are we missing when it comes to technology, or is there anything out there on the horizon we should be looking at in the world of special?
I don't know that we are.
Oh, good. That's great feedback.
We've invested in the resources that we have. We've repowered 2 boats just last year. We have 4 boats, right, and all of them are in good shape. They were 2 were repowered, so you potentially have 4, 5, 6 years of good engine life on those.
Right.
The snowmobiles, low mileage, low hours. Now we have 2 UTVs that are brand new. Our snowmobile unit is good to go.
Good.
Our bikes, we added a e-bike to the fleet this year.
His goal is to go from county line to county line on the canal path and back again on that e-bike.
So we're progressing. I would hope that whoever fills my shoes just invests in the position and continues to progress both our training and our equipment.
Yeah, when you have a term like special ops, right, or special, that means proactivity in my world. That means leaning forward, looking at the next potential threat to us. And it's not always a bad guy with a gun that's a threat. It could be the snowstorm that's coming in. It could be a water hazard that we don't know about, or any of these things. But so hopefully whoever's coming to fill in these big shoes, LT, and I'm not blowing smoke up your pant like on that, but is proactive, leaning forward, pushing the envelope. I love to tell people no. And not because I like to tell them no, only because they're pushing the envelope, right? So we only have so much budget, but don't you come to me with a no. Tell me what you need and let me go find the resources, or go find other ways to fund it or pay for it. But we always got to be leaning forward in that proactive world, especially when it comes to if a citizen needs help, 1 in 750,000, we need to get to them and help them. That's our job function. People expect it. How about finish up that no Miranda zone?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
The LT's never been on here. LT, Miranda, you're very familiar with Miranda. You have the right to remain. Well, this is the no Miranda zone, and I'm the sheriff, and you have to answer my questions. So there's no right to remain silent. So we're gonna. Oh, he's got the answers. Who gave him that?
I got some reference material.
Wow. Who do you
man.
know?
Quick
That's
notes,
good. Look, he wrote notes. That's good. What's your favorite football team?
The Buffalo Bills.
I'm sorry, brother.
I knew that wasn't on there. I just tried to throw that at you.
I think they were capable of beating the Chiefs, and this should have been their year.
That's disappointing. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Very disappointing. All the skills there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you had a last
Came
meal,
together at the end. What's that?
I was gonna say, if you had a last meal, what would it be?
Steak. Steak.
Do you smoke? Do you do your own barbecues? And
I don't, but I can grill. I can grill, and I do enjoy putting in a nice.
Taking the time and.
Right. Go to Skips, get a nice cut. Yes.
Yeah.
I like
Oh, we don't
It's an all
endorse.
day- it's
We
an
don't
all-
endorse companies.
It's an
on this
all-day
show, by the way.
I take that back.
Skips or another meat market that sells good meat in
You're right.
Rochester, New York.
It's an all-day process. You start with a dry rub. It's
Oh, yeah.
It's out
Yeah.
there, room temperature. And
You do any of the pre-searing and then throw it on the grill?
I don't.
Oh, with that cast iron.
Okay.
Just locks in them juices. Really, it's
Man.
the way to go.
Okay.
I watch my son do it all the time.
That's a good one.
I don't do it. Hey, so any place you can go, this is on the list, so you should have this. If you and the
Sure.
family are going on vacation, where are you going? Where's the number one vacation spot?
I want to take a road trip.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no destination like one point in my. I want to go cross country. I want to see everything in the United States, all the big parks.
Yeah.
Places I've never been.
I got to drive last year with Matt Barnes from the Fairport Police Department. We drove across to San Diego. And we were towing a vehicle, so there wasn't a lot of touring going on. But the cotton fields in Texas that I never knew existed.
Sure.
Just stuff. Wow. The craters out in Arizona and New Mexico, stopping and just actually taking walking amongst a crater that some meteor hit and made this. We all think of. These are things you see, and it's an
Right.
incredible country. And that was just going through the southern part of, let alone hitting Yellowstone and everything else.
Sure.
Right. That's a good vacation. That's good. I don't know if kids would tolerate it, but
Yeah, they probably won't. I wouldn't even try it.
I wouldn't even try it. Tiz has got a football team of his own. Take the grandkids.
Oh,
How many?
12. Bro.
12.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
for you.
Football team. Favorite TV show of all time?
It's a toss up.
Yeah.
Everybody knows me from the motorcycle, so it's
So
a toss up
Chips?
between Chips
Yeah.
and Third Watch. They're
Yeah?
both-
Yeah,
yes.
that makes sense. That makes sense. We're binge watching Frasier right now, the old Frasier.
Oh, I used to
Oh,
love
my
that show,
God.
man. That was a good show.
Oh, the one-liners in there are incredible.
For sure.
And the grumpy old cop dad.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome. Well, LT, thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing a little behind the badge of what's going on in the tracked vehicle world.
Thank
as
you.
we're getting bigger and better at that, but all the folks that work in our special ops and being on the cutting edge and make sure they're ready for the community when they ring the bell that we're here to serve them. So
We are.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having
Best
me.
of luck on the new career path, wherever that takes you. You're going
Thank
to do
you.
good.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you. Till next week, folks. Be safe.